Hello everybody and welcome to Energetic Principles Horoscopes for this Leo season. My name is Melissa LaFara and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And today we're going to talk about what's in store for this Leo season. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Gemini and Gemini Risings. What does this Leo season have in store for you? Well, there's a lot of action in this Leo season, and there's a lot of things to talk about, and I'm not talking about all of them here, but I'm going to help you really pinpoint those crucial moments. So let's start out with that, the fact that we're having two new moons in Leo. One new moon is just a regular old new moon at 0 degrees Leo, which happens Sunday, July 23rd, but then we're going to have that supercharged great American solar eclipse that's going to happen on Monday, August 21st. So because these are both in Leo, they're going to be happening in the same area for you. So there's going to be a new vitality around your thoughts and your communications and how your mind works, which is a big thing for Gemini. This is the area of Gemini consideration. You know, Geminis like to communicate and like to chat it up with others. So just know that there's a kind of a new energy that is really helping to renew your ability to communicate well with others, and to kind of, you know, redo your mind a little bit and get those thoughts on board with your own heart's desires, because we're in Leo season and essentially we're all trying to find ways to get in touch with ourselves more and to express ourselves. You know, how can we really put ourselves out there more and let our light shine? And for you, that's really around communication and being able to share your thoughts with others. So essentially you're kind of getting a mental makeover. There could be areas of your life that you're going to have to end around the way your mind thinks or communication issues, and how you can revitalize that and get new structures in place so that you can be stronger in mind and stronger with your ability to communicate with others. Because being, you know, your opposite sign with Sagittarius, like to be understood is so powerful, but in order to do so you have to be able to communicate well and your thoughts have to be on board with that. So just know that this is a time where, you know, you're going to see all that kind of boost up, and chances are results will happen in about 8 to 10 months around these issues. So that being said, you know, having these new moons in the third house, you are probably going to be a little busy. You know, life's going to speed up a bit more. You're probably going to have to travel, you know, a lot, you know, not so much travel overseas, maybe for some of you, but there's a lot of trips going back and forth, doing this, that, and the other, socializing, hanging out with friends, you know, your neighbors and your community, and putting yourself in that area, because essentially you're trying to develop more heartfelt connections with other people, or communicate from your heart, which is essential. So just know there's a big boost in that area for you during this Leo season. The next aspect we're going to talk about is Friday, August 4th, when we're going to have Jupiter in Libra squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And this has been going on for a long time. This is actually the last crisis point for this cycle. And in fact, we have been seeing areas of this change in our life since 2007, when it first conjuncted. But that being said, you know, for the last 8 years or so, you've really been working on, you know, renewing yourself in a lot of ways and stepping into your own personal power and transforming areas of your life that are no longer relevant for today. Chances are Geminis out there have had a lot of changes in the last 8 years or so, and you're better off for them. You know, it's time to let go of the past and heal that and transmute that for the future. But that being said, with this Jupiter squaring Pluto, which will be the last of its squares, we've already done this dance, but you know, it's you need to renew that creative energy within you and find that passion again for what it is that you're you know that creative juice that's in you, you know, where you find joy in life and your self-expression. It's time to renew certain areas around that, which can be a little bit challenging, but you're being called to do so, especially during this Leo season, you know, when it's time to express ourselves. So you may have to have a, you know, there may be change around that for you. And there could be change around what you actually get pleasure from in life. Like maybe what used to bring you joy no longer does. And so we have to find new areas that we can find that same feeling in now that we're older and wiser. So you might be challenged to release and transform a little bit this season. And it's not going to be something that you like, you know, fully... Like, it's not like energy that's just right there. You know, these are big transits. These are big social, mundane transits. It's really just kind of more going to sneak up, and you're going to be aware of these considerations from time to time, rather than that, you know, that push to do so. So yeah, once again, just how can we release and transform, you know, our own love relationships, our relationship with our children, our creative projects, our joy, you know, what can we do in that area to bring new life there? So next we're going to have the full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius. That's going to happen Monday, August 7th. And for you, you're going to be, this is a time to release old belief systems. Like, how can you get out, you know, things out of your mind that no longer serve you? Like, if you believe one thing and your thoughts think another, that belief is going to trump what your mind's trying to rework here. And that is essentially what's going on with this season for you, is to revitalize your thoughts and your mind. So those old beliefs need to go. And, you know, you might have some belief situations around maybe areas of, you know, you feeling a little strange or a little weird, and that's why you maybe can't communicate as well as you might, because you feel a little awkward. But we're all awkward in some way. So let those considerations go. If you believe these things, you know, let them go so that you can really begin to express yourself and communicate with the others in a more healthy manner. And, you know, chances are you might just feel bored. You might feel so bored during this full moon that you're ready to, like, go on an adventure. You're ready to, like, leave it all behind and go do something fun, and that gets you out of just this blah, you know, reality. You know, changes are coming your way, and it's time to, like, you know, get out there. But at the same time, this is also a time when we can become, like, emotionally charged with other people around our beliefs, and you might feel the need to debate others or really push a point that you think you're right on, and maybe others don't want to hear it, or you know, there's a lot of potentiality that can happen at this time. But really, it's how can you release those old beliefs? Because, you know, with the lunar eclipse, all full moons have a release aspect, but this lunar one really is like, okay, now we can pick something and it's gone for good. So what is it that you really want to release? You know, I would ask ultimately, like, is your mind reflecting your experience at this time? And you might be emotional around that. So how can we balance these two things out and really liberate yourself for the future? So you may want to just get out of your comfort zone and feel that itch, emotional itch to expand your horizons during this full moon lunar eclipse. So next we're going to talk about actually Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going retrograde during this Leo season. It's going to go retrograde in Virgo, which will happen Saturday, August 12th, and will retrograde back until September 5th, which will be in Leo at that time. So what does that mean for Geminis? Well, you know, Mercury is your ruler. So whenever Mercury is going retrograde, it's nothing to fear, but chances are it kind of affects you more than other people. And really this is going to be affecting the area of your home and your family and your foundation, where you live, your psychological self. you're going to reassess all these things. You know, how you're nurturing yourself. You might have to, you know, because this whole new moon in Leo season is about revitalizing the way your mind thinks. And here we are having this Mercury retrograde, which actually is the perfect time to kind of reassess those areas. And so, especially with all that transformative energy with that Jupiter-Pluto square, there might be endings that happen in your life to some extent, or old ways of thinking that you now can part with and have a more psychologically sound foundation. You might be able to reassess childhood patterns that actually hold you back from communicating to your best ability, or sharing your thoughts, or that tie into how your mind works, and it just needs an overhaul in a sense. So you can get a better understanding of these things during this transit. You know, we want to ask ourselves, how do these old emotions really affect our life today? And when that Mercury retrogrades back into Leo, we're gonna get in touch once again with how our mind works, you know, rethinking about how our mind works. And so I feel like that will be the nail, you know, that Mercury retrograde, where we'll go forward and we're really going to be in a better place with all these communication issues in the mind, and it'll be in a stronger, more well thought out place than it was before. So just know that for this season. All right, so the last transit we're going to talk about is actually Venus squaring Jupiter and opposing Pluto in Capricorn. So Venus will move into Cancer, to where it's going to be asking you to open up to certain areas of value in life, and really question what it is that you value around relationships, especially emotionally. And it will ask you to tap into more of your talents and your resources, and whether or not you're using those to your best ability. With your creative endeavors, you know, how confident are you in sharing what it is that you have to share with others? So really, we're going to tap into you know, a turning point around your ability to be confident with your creativity and with your love life and your children, or, you know, any areas that really bring us joy, or how we can get pleasure in life. So it's time to transform these areas and really step into your own self-worth. And open up to that, because I think by opening up to what it is that you're worth, and boosting that self-esteem, you're gonna really boost your earning power as well. You know, so this is a time to actually kind of fight for your joy in a sense, and really find harmony with embracing your creative self, and then finding more strength and self-confidence through that. And, you know, really set boundaries around your relationships, and your, you know, and what it is that you value. Because when you set those boundaries up, what it is you value is going to be that much more valuable, because you're like, okay, well, I've got that out, I've opened up to this, and now I'm really on board with what it is that I'm going after and trying to manifest. So those are all going to be considerations for this Leo season. All right, Gemini, what does the tarot have in store for you? Well, we've got the Daughter of Wands as our focus, and the Son of Swords as our grounding. And so you might be feeling kind of inspired this month, you know, you're going to feel that inspiration. You might feel a little touch of wanderlust in a sense, and you might kind of want to get out from where you are and like, kind of break free in a sense, and have a little more freedom in your life to do the things that you love to do. But it's all kind of grounded in the Son of Swords, which for Gemini, it's kind of perfect, to be honest. And you're working on your whole mental faculties and your ability to communicate. And sometimes, you know, Son of Swords energy, or Knight of Swords, is kind of combative, and like tends to really you know, you can be very spontaneous and enthusiastic with your speech, but be careful what you're saying, because, you know, loose lips sinks ships, essentially. So be aware of the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, because essentially that's where we're kind of learning these lessons this month is, you know, how you communicate and if you're doing that well. But just know that there's kind of a spark there, just in general, like something's kind of bubbling up and you're feeling visionary. You can kind of see what it is that this picture that you're forming in your mind of what it is that you want to go after and strive for. And so there's also kind of like a resurgence around, you know, passion around maybe learning something. This could be a great time to educate yourself more and find more passion around this stuff that you're interested in, you know, and learning more. But you know, just know that there's just going to be this energy of impatience for you. And so to watch your mouth and watch that you just don't, you know, there's one thing to be spontaneous. There's one thing to be impulsive. So if you're feeling a little impulsive, do your best to maybe try to pull back and understand that, especially if it comes to speech, because once again, we're talking about revitalizing the way you communicate. So how can we do that? With a little care, I would say. So just, you know, be aware of that, you know, and be aware of any type of lofty perspective, because once again, we're like, there's visionary aspect here and your mind is going after it and you're ready to like full force steam ahead. But this is kind of infant stages of things. So how can we kind of take it a little easier and not be so restless that, you know, you're ready to leap at any moment. But that being said, this can tap into ways that you can really find more inspiration around your own thoughts, and to really actively share that with other people. Share your thoughts and your visions. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to find out more about me or find where I'm at, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Energetic Principles. I also do a weekly podcast, Astrology and Tarot, and Inspirational Quote podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo Feminine Astrology. And that is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. All right, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Leo season. And if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to my channel and share with friends. And plus, I'd love to hear your comments and how Leo season is treating you. So please leave comments down below. So I hope everybody has a wonderful season with the Lion. And as always, may the stars be with you.